we'll see. Are we reading the room correctly? Is BURNxFLASH going to prioritize going blue? Is Fredrin that much of a threat? Indeed it is!
Oh!
Coach Mitch and Coach Skyzy want to get their hands on the appraiser himself. Estes, Diggy, and Joy taken out this time around. So,
I like this.
Just the same, Agent Zero is as big a threat as the Queen.
I super duper love this because typically you go Frederick, they allow Joy, then they pick up the glue. Eventually they found out, okay, we run away with a Joy pick in or Joy counter as the glue in the previous games. Might not happen once again. So I think Frederick as BURNxFLASH hero.
Technically speaking, we have seen the pattern, right? It's just going to be back and forth, and the losers will take side. If BURNxFLASH manages to win with this Fredrin pick, Blacklist International gets to choose in Game 5 that they want to be in the first pick.
Nova Val!
Nova Val, I think.
It should be. It should be.
Novaria for
Nova
sure.
and Val.
Valentina, maybe they third pick it and maybe pick up Arlet. So maybe Arlet, Novaria for Blacklist. But between those three heroes, there's really not much that they will change up.
Yep, and I think if I read the situation right, glue is also just as important for BURNxFLASH. There's the Novaria. Will they wait for the Val? Are they going to pull the trigger here?
Akai.
Yep.
They want to immediately snag that Akai up before BURNxFLASH eventually bans that out. They want to ensure that they still have that tough front line that Wise is used to.
I think you will still pick up. I think Valentina's value now is so much greater for BURNxFLASH.
So much, yes.
You get the heavy spin. You counter the Wise's heavy spin with your own. That means that Chima on the Fredrin will have a free pass to those neutral objectives.
And let's not forget about the fact that if the Valentina is picked up by BURNxFLASH, then the Astral Echo will help with the Appraiser's Wrath.
That's also
a
true.
Small AoE to make it even more impactful.
Oh, immediately Natalia against the Novaria. And you know why they have the pass for this? Because they know that the backshot will not be picked up. Now, what do you pick for Oh My Venus in this scenario? You still have the Faramis pick up. Leslie's not an option. Maybe you just go back to Beatrix here for Owl.
Beatrix
or maybe a Brody.
Is a safe pick. Brody as well, but do they want to just pick up a Rafaela? I don't think so. I don't think so in the first phase, but it could come out in the second phase, right? Because up against Natalia, once again, you can just open up the map freely on the Rafaela, providing support and good mobility to the team as well.
Brody. Honestly, Minotaur is not that much, not that bad of an option for Blacklist International, so that may be banned out as well from BURNxFLASH. I don't know if is anybody else like picking up the Hylos and recently.
Nope, I don't think so. Not for a long time. I would love to see Hylos, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We've slowed down on debut picks.
Okay, all right, very well. Thank you so much, Leo, for grounding us once again.
I want to see it, but just the same, when it's down the wire like this, I'm not so sure how willing Coach Mitch and Skyzy are.
Yep. You always look for vision if you're going up against Natalia. Novaria is there, but Novaria is an easy, it's food, I would say, for the Natalia.
Honestly, speaking about vision, I thought that they would have went for a Leslie since they want the vision. But either way, Chima on the home ground advantage. He says, yeah, I think the fans are like power for us to play here because this is our home. Just like the buff, they are the buff.
Yep. By the way, Faramis is still open for Blacklist International. Yes, that's open. Okay,
as a roamer.
As a roamer, that's right.
Or even as, you can switch it up even.
Yep. It's actually decent going up against Natalia because at least you have vision. And also because of the fact that when you pop your ultimate, the Natalia is going to be put in an awkward spot wherein he cannot burst down heroes.
Yep.
It's very important to cancel that combo from the Natalia, so that could be an option for Blacklist. They pick Lapu-Lapu? Wow!
One of the comforts.
I thought that it will be BURNxFLASH eventually to take it out. This is a very smart move from Blacklist International. I love it.
It's a great pick here to deny a pick as well from the XP lane with the Arlet, Joy, Glue, banned away.
Oh, let's go Esmeralda, please, BURNxFLASH.
Esmeralda?
That's the way to go.
Brody, Novaria, and the Akai.
They can or they can pivot.
I really can't imagine them going for the Esmeralda here.
What about a Uranus?
Uranus.
That's also good.
Or just a Yu Zhong to dive into the back, to dive into Navari and Brody.
Find the Navaria, find the Brody. Yeah, again, Ripple mentioned yesterday the Brody's okay.
Yeah, Brody's okay.
More or less of a follow-up, but do they need that follow-up from the side of Yu Zhong? The answer is yes for them. They want to pick that out.
Yep.
They've gone for the Claude as well, for more of that jump style. They are able to play for the team fight. They can go all the way to the back lines. They want to bring down Brody and the Navaria.
Jump style is a Brazilian MLBB pro player. But yes, they want to dive in. This is a very dive-heavy comp coming in from BURNxFLASH. But now, ball's in the other court.
Lolita, perhaps?
What about Matilda?
Matilda in this game.
With the Akai as well?
Yeah, there's a lot of vision. I do like it. I do like it. There's a lot of setup.
Actually, I do like it as well. Being able to guiding win yourself out of the out of reach of the Natalia.
This could be a treat coming in just to close up the series. Another debut pick.
What? Okay, Kagura. Navaria.
It is
the
just
debut
as well.
Yep.
Just as well. Wow, Omaivin is so comfortable on the Novaria in Rome this time. And yeah, you is going to be playing the Kagura.
Yep. It's a way for you to burst down the Natalia. It's a one-shot combo as well. And even if you get silenced, you just have to wait for a little bit. You retract your umbrella, you have shields, and then you pop your Union overturn, you're going to be A-okay.
Here we go, folks. One more game. And just as close as BLACKLIST is to that grand finals, the Cambodian crowd fires up even more. They know that dire straits are coming. They know that this is inevitable. They know that they're underdogs going up against the powerhouse that is Blacks International as we head into the Land of Dawn. Potentially the last game in this series. Potentially BURNxFLASH's last chance to once more reset and make it to Game 5.
Is it a Game 5? It'll all be decided here in the Land of Dawn for Game number 4 between BURNxFLASH versus BLACKLIST International. Who is in match point?
To Mobile Legends.
Oh, okay, so if you look at BURNxFLASH, for them to win it back, Chimas to set up, as well as CCAT, but D7, the power pick on the Natalia, first phase for BURNxFLASH, is it enough?
So right off the bat, we are looking at BLACKLIST International with the mage heading down to the bottom lane. This is the initial rotation that we have seen, and this is what they would do in order to get all 4 of them level 4.
Yeah, I'm sorry to nerd out here, but I was thinking that Natalia can do that. Look at the invade that he's doing. He's gonna disrupt Wise's jungle pattern.
His jungle pattern is mostly going down, going from the orange down to the purple. So this is mostly going down to the southern side. But once that is done, he will eventually make his way to the northern side, and that is where he will be able to get his level 4. Otherwise, he will need to wait a little bit more time before he can eventually get that.
So good. I mean, they did not pick the Natalia just for the sake of countering the Novaria. They actually have a plan against BLACKLIST.
I mean, they also found and knew that, yes, Wise is doing this from top to bottom, just from the single jungle creep that is available, that is closest to the first tier defense turret in the middle. All the information is out there.
No heavy spin anymore. But still no Petrify for ATM. Still, massive ultimate that's not available for BLACKLIST.
If Chima chooses a time to, you know, pop off with his retreat, now is the best time to do so. BLACKLIST with match point, they need it. This is the last hope for the Cambodians.
It is all about disciplined play from the side of BLACKLIST International. It's either they would want to keep the Natalia in the main team fights and use Novaria as this bait, or do they just want to find a way to unlock Brody? That is the big question. In the meantime, ATM...
Well, Wise wins it in the 50-50. Chua is going to be bursted down, but Yin Yang overturn as well. ATM still surviving. Venus not able to connect right there. CCAT steals it with a heavy spin to disengage. D7 unable to find an opening in that skirmish.
First turtle going down to BLACKLIST International.
Oh my god. You see, Edward just knows his job so well. The reason why Wise was able to win the 50-50 is, without the heavy spin, is because of Edward. The stun connects. And he knows that Chima will eventually be showing himself. He didn't even have to use the flicker for that play. That is how good Edward was.
Let's see what they do here in the second minute of the game. What does BURNxFLASH need to find at this point, at this stage, to turn it around? Because BLACKLIST, now with the Kagura, with a Brody, with a Lapu, the snowball potential is massive.
I really like to see this Lapu in the hands of Edward. So far, it was always just joy and trying to get himself the priority and such. But this time, with the Lapu, you're playing things a little bit safer. You're not trying to win in the lanes. You just want to play safe and eventually get to where you are. Especially since you're fighting against a Yuzhong here. Let's remember that.
Yin Yang overturn and the bravest fighter there. A few more hits under the turret. A clean dive from BLACKLIST International's. Jamal looks for a trade, but is unable to find anything here. Uses the retribution. It's a slow. That is it.
No, it's not advisable for him to stay in here. They need to give the farm to Yuzhong. And already BLACKLIST International leading by 1,000 gold. That's all of those mini moves that BLACKLIST International have been able to do allows them to get a massive lead with just a 2-0. You see, Wise utilized the heavy spin just to take out and steal that orange buff. That was a massive play for BLACKLIST, and now they have so much of an opening in the early stages.
Also, how much of a lead does Edward have on top of ATM? Because I'm pretty sure that an entire creep wave is pretty much missed out from the side of ATM.
Yeah, maybe.
So it could pretty much translate to a single $600 item.
600 gold.
600 gold. Yes. Oh, really? 600 gold. Okay.
Oh, heavy spin responded over by heavy spin. Jamal walks up, but he still misses the victory. It's Wise who picks it up, staying composed as ever. ATM with a Black Dragon form. He shouldn't be able to do anything. Meanwhile, Owl picking up the turret plating in the bottom lane, getting so much gold for himself and snowballing, pushing it even further.
I don't know about this, but for the side of BURNxFLASH, they have been reacting more than attacking.
Yeah. Oh, Wise is just so good at the jungle.
PMI gets him out. D7 with a few damage hits onto UM, but Wise will not be able to steal away the orange buff this time. Chaman forced to retreat.
A lot of movements from the side of BLACKLIST International. They would want to even get themselves the proxy down to the southern side. They want to push this all the way through. Give Owl all of that gold. Give him all of the farm and just funnel everything else out. It's unfortunate though, the Taunt apart maybe didn't quite work out for them, but Wise
pinned down. Yin Yang overturned from US to pick the kill up. BLACKLIST just rolling in this game. 2.6 thousand gold lead. No stopping BLACKLIST for now.
That's a free turret down in the bottom lane. Yeah. So it only makes sense for ATM to try to go for a counter. It wants to find a counter value all the way up to the top lane.
Wise is playing the side of the jungle that should belong to BURNxFLASH.
It's like vertical jungling, isn't it?
Vertical jungling. Not even just vertical jungling. It's like literally just taking everything that he wanted.
It's a square jungle.
It's a square jungle.
No, the entire jungle is just
his. Jungle. It's just his map. Wise has just owned this game. And by the way, this is not the first time. I think all 4 games that we saw in this game, Wise was just phenomenal. Even in the game that they lost, as the Baksha, he was 3-0-3 in the first 5 minutes. That's how active he was. And now he's 2-0 or 0-0-2. I mean, out of the 3 kills that they have in the first 6 minutes, leading by a lot when it comes to AXP. He's level 9 while Chimaz is level 8.
With the turtle spawned up, the entirety of BLACKLIST International wants to get themselves the turtle priority. They're hanging around the riverbed and they're just waiting for the perfect time. Opening up all these brushes. Oh my Venus, even with the Astro Echo. He did manage to find one, but BURNxFLASH, it seems like they understood where they stand. They understood that they cannot possibly take this away from the hands of Wise. Otherwise, the gap widens.
3 turtles, the gap is as wide as it can be for BLACKLIST in the 7th minute of the game. Owl is also snowballed. D7 is trying to get some vision here, but he's actually going to be read out by Venus. Some damage placed down, but D7 caught in a bad spot. Now Owl as well. This should just be a free kill over. There's nowhere to run. D7 has been taken out.
I don't know about this. This Natalia play is very different from what we have seen against the RSG. They haven't really been producing much results.
Yeah, well, this is because it was a 3rd pick, Natalia. And all they had to do was to pick up Lapu Lapu. Lapu Lapu, not gonna be concerned. Has a ton of armor or physical damage defense. You have the Brody that's unthwarted by the Natalia.
Probably just tunnel vision onto just bringing Oh My Venus down. That's just how much respect that they have for Oh My Venus's the Novaria. To get it.
That's why I felt like the ATM's Yuzhong might not be the case. Because the thing with Natalia, if you want to pick up the Natalia, somebody always has to stay in lane. Yuzhong, don't want to do that. You want a team fight afterwards, right? Or you want to get a kill. You need something like a sustain. Like, yeah, Uranus, your Esmeralda, perhaps the Joy at a certain point. Heroes that stay in lane so that everybody else will be busy. You'll have your shot at clearing out some, getting a pick-off, perhaps.
But D7 wanders around. He's trying to look for these small little opportunities that is presented to him. Now, even if they have the Natalia, they don't have the control of the river. He can kill, technically speaking, once he has got an item and once they have got return lead, right? They should be able to get himself the kill onto the Kagura, being one of the biggest problems in the team. Look at a Yin Yang overturn. What can he do to D7?
Well, he can burst him down. That's clear right now. I don't think D7 has enough resources to do anything against the back line of BLACKLIST International, but ATM very deep in enemy territory right now, using the Fierce Dive defensively, and he just practically isolates himself. The Petrify comes through. ATM doing some damage. CCat with a flicker in, but it's miscommunication. No one was there to follow it up. CCat burned his flicker for nothing. D7 is looking for a trade back, but Owl is already gone.
Isn't this exactly what Leo has said? Where we are expecting and we are seeing BURNxFLASH starting to, get a little bit of a communication problem.
Finally.
There's one back. Burn are finally on the board. Chama looking for an opening here onto the Lord, but it does seem like BLACKLIST International should be able to take this for free. No contest whatsoever. Burn put their resources up top. Donut isn't even able to go for a trade. It's BLACKLIST with a free Lord.
BLACKLIST is just keeping to their code. They're just playing their average game. It's like as though they never lost a single game. Because that is a big thing. The fact that BLACKLIST International lost to BURNxFLASH for game number 2, I would have thought that it would have affected them. But it didn't. They're still calm, they're still composed, and they're still disciplined.
Wise with a heavy spin, trying to buy some time or trying to open up some space. Owl, turn on memory, does it get him? No, Chama is able to escape. Barely, almost gets him.
Did Natalia get hit by the Astral Echo? No, he didn't. Utilize it. All the same, you can see BLACKLIST International just owning the map. Wise taking away the buff once again. Utilizing the Lord so that the lanes will naturally push. And then they will take out the mid lane turret. Gonna be moving into the middle. It's gonna be difficult for BURNxFLASH to defend.
This is a it feels very much of a front to back from the side of BURNxFLASH, right? The way that they have played. They want to target over to the back lines, but in the meantime, they just doesn't seem like they have the confidence to do so. They probably understood that if they were to jump into the back lines, the entirety of BLACKLIST just crumbles and collapses on them. But shouldn't that be the value that we should be looking out for? Try to find a couple of trades, like between ATM for someone else. That's the death should make sense.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they decided to go for this Yuzhong and they haven't been utilizing it like what they did in game number 3, where the real world manipulation just doesn't really connect to benefit the BURNxFLASH members. This time, they're not team fighting.
They're losing the steam.
Yeah.
It's like they're running out of charcoal or coal, rather.
For sure.
And it's just not pumping.
Well, didn't spot D7 there, but finally does now. Skill 2 in front, first skill, that's the ultimate. Smoke screen for D7, Wise comes down, gets them, CCat isn't in time. Yang overturn, barely connects. Venus almost just took CCat down.
Absolutely uncharacteristic to see a marksman chasing after an assassin.
ATM now with the Black Dragon form, Owl with Wind in Nature. With a wind chant, Pop able to escape. No heavy spin this time for BLACKLIST International as Donut is still clearing it out in the mid lane.
And
we still have 30 seconds left until the Lord comes out.
Yeah, but then again, there's really no team fight for the side of BURNxFLASH.
I mean, we're looking at a 6,000 goal lead in favor for BLACKLIST International. What kind of possibility can BURNxFLASH look out for? Because they do have Natalia. They can find trades.
Maybe, but they will have to wait for Donut to reach maximum items. I don't think if you place this correctly, you will not be bursted out by the. By this Yin Yang overturn perhaps, or maybe by Owl. Then rely on D7. At this point, ATM is just a starter for team fights. He's not gonna be able to find the opening in the backlines.
I understand that they would want to extend this game for a little while longer in order for Donut to eventually get to the power of spike
That's
that they
the
want.
only option here.
And D7 can eventually get there as well, because once the D7 has got the item that you want, Owl is more or less dead. It's actually not just Owl. Oh my Venus will be dead, Yue will be dead. BURNxFLASH would have a 1-for-1 trade no matter how it is going to be like.
But as it stands, they cannot team fight at all.
They can't, yeah, they can't. So in the mid stages of the game, that is the missing link that we're looking at, isn't it?
Yeah. Perhaps, yes.
Oh, Bravest Spider, D7's going to be caught in the stun as well with a flicker.
Oh!
Solo kill from Agent Zero.
You can't do that against Lapu. Natalia versus Lapu, that's gonna spell doom. So much armor, so much physical defense. And really no way for Natalia to win against her.
Donut's going to be shut down! US with the yin-yang overturn.
Let's not forget the Astral Echo. The debuff was on him as well. All right? The Yin Yang overturn damage was insane. But the question is, what was he doing there?
Oh, I don't know how to answer that because now they will suffer from that kind of pickoff. 14 minutes. Might lose an inhibitor because of this.
A 10,000 gold lead for Blacklist International. They're marching down, sieging the base. Not giving any mercy. ACM with the Furious Dive. Bedford can be able to cancel it out. With the Bravest Spider, anti-CC. Venus is looking for the Astral Sphere, but they will just utilize the Enhanced Lord still in that top lane. Gonna be crashing down. Chuma isolated from the team. Now Brock back with a heavy spin. D7 in the back line. Trying to dive, but it's gonna be Yue! Again! Able to lock him down. Donut with a blazing duet in desperation, but ATM will fall to Agent Zero. Lord on the base. BURNxFLASH falling one by one. The embers and the flames have been extinguished. Blacklist International have knocked the Cambodians out.
The first team that has made their way up and climbing it all through to the grand finals. Blacklist International. Ladies and gentlemen,